Are you an author suffering from the dreaded writer's block? I'm going to tell you how to fix that coming up. Hey guys and gals, boys and girls, authors and author wannabes. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Your old buddy Tim here. I'm certainly having a great day. Very productive day today. You ever do that? You have those days when sometimes nothing gets done, but then you have other days where miraculously lots of things get done? Granted, I have more of the non-productive days than the productive days, but you know, I take them where I can get them. Hey, don't forget the topic of this show is how to make you a better writer. We talk about things like authoring, agenting, editing, publishing, anything to do with the publishing industry, writing to sales. We talk about on this program. And if you have a question, do me a favor. Feel free to drop it in the comments below. And if I do use your question in a video, you'll get a free digital copy of one of my books. Also, while we're at it, if you like what we do on this channel and you're interested in becoming a better writer, click that little subscribe button down there. Click the bell icon to be notified. And tell all your friends, because that's what we do on this program as we talk about ways to become a better writer. Question today, and this is one that I get quite a bit. Tim, this is coming from who? Barry, I think. Barry, Tim, I am suffering from writer's block. I have not been able to write a word, and I'm killing my phone as we talk about this. I have not been able to write a word in several weeks. I don't know what's going on. Can you please help me? Barry. Let me make a note on Barry there. Writer's block. You know, that's one of those things a lot of writers think it's kind of like Bigfoot. You hear about other writers having it, but you're not quite sure it exists. Well, I can tell you that it does exist, and I can give you my opinion as to why it exists and how you can get past it. I talked about this in another video recently. Writer's block, in the traditional sense of the word, means a writer has been blocked mentally. They can't write. All of a sudden, they can't think of anything to say. It's just like they're blocked. It's also called writer's constipation. And unfortunately, there is a cure. There's no, chocolate X-Lax you can take, but there is a cure because, in my opinion, writer's block is nothing more than a writer either convincing themselves that they can no longer write, or they simply can't think of what to write. Now, if you have suffered from writer's block, please save your hate mail. I don't need it. This is just my opinion, but I'm going by what I have experienced in the past. I've written, again, over 100 ghost-written books. I've written a dozen or so novels, and I have had those times in my career when I had writer's block. And that simply meant I couldn't think of anything to write. I would sit down at my keyboard with a blank screen, and I'd have my fingers there in the QWERTY position, and then my brain would go, hey, let's go watch a ball game. Or it would go blank. It would just go blank. And the problem was I couldn't think of anything to write. Now, what I did in that case, when it's happened, is I will go back and look at what have I been working on. If I am in the middle of a book and I get writer's block at chapter 6, I'm going to go back chapters 1 through 5 and figure out what happened. Why am I so bored now with this story that I can't think of what happens next? Because in my mind, again, that's what writer's block is. It's the inability to be creative, whether that is something that is self-induced or not. And so a lot of times I have overcome the dreaded writer's block simply by going back a few chapters and started reading and writing my way through, making some little edits, doing some things that are going to make hopefully the story a little more interesting, and voila, I burst through the writer's block. The dam is burst. The constipation is over, and I can move on. So I think, Barry, that may be what you're doing. Now, we get writer's block for a variety of reasons. And again, I think writer's block is simply inattention, the inability to think of something to write. You know, maybe life is in the way. Maybe you're so darn busy with other things, your brain is so occupied with other things, it can't think of words. In other times, writer's block can be a very serious thing because the writer has literally convinced themselves mentally that they can no longer write. Have you ever done that? They say that what your mind conceives, or what your imagination conceives, your body believes. And so if you start telling yourself, man, I've got writer's block, I can't think of a damn thing to write, chances are you're going to develop writer's block and you're not going to be able to think of anything. So again, what has always helped me is to kind of back up, take a break, assess what's going on in my life and what's going on in the book, and then plow through. And that's literally what it takes, Barry, is a nice plowing through. So, maybe you should take some time off, Barry. If you're trying to force the words, I will tell you this. If you're trying to force it, a lot of times it will not come. At least for me as a writer, the words have to flow. I have to get in the zone. There are days, honest to God, when I can sit down and write 10,000 words, and then there are other days when I can sit down and barely write 10,000 characters. Okay, I have to be in the zone, and I used to try to force this. I would sit down and force myself and say, okay, you've got to write 10,000 words. And it was like my brain would go, no, I don't, but thanks anyway. So a lot of the times, Barry, writer's block is a self-imposed mental block. And if you tell yourself you cannot write, guess what? You're right. You can't. If you tell yourself you're going to get past the writer's block and you do things to get the brain going, jumpstart your brain, I'm pretty sure, Barry, you're going to overcome writer's block. Get up, take a walk, get some coffee, go to the park. Don't even think about the book. This is another one. If you're suffering from writer's block, just forget the book for a little while at least. Take a few days off. Don't try to force it. And again, I think that's the reason so many writers get writer's block, is they feel the need, the sense of urgency that they have to plow through and develop the story before the world ends, without realizing that if the world ends, there's not going to be anybody to read the book. It's a conundrum, Barry. Barry, I hope that was helpful. Again, my advice in a nutshell is take a break. Don't push so hard. Look at the work and figure out ways to spark through creativity. And believe it or not, Barry, the old writer's block will go by the way of most constipated things. All right. Hey, that's going to do it. Hopefully, Barry, that will help make you a better writer. If you would like to drop a question in the comments below and I use your question on an upcoming video, I will send you a free copy of one of my books, a digital copy of either Angel of Mercy or Sins of the Father. Don't forget also, if you enjoy what we do here, I do these videos 4 or 5 times a week, and you don't want to miss that, because God forbid, that's an entertainment value, Barry. An entertainment value, and it's free. So there is value there too. But if you don't want to miss another one, click subscribe, click the bell notification icon, click the like, and let all your author friends know about the channel, because my goal here, as always, is to help make you a better writer. All right, Barry, go write something.